We decided to do a little how-to series, how to make some easy recipes, because we had some people who suggested that and we're like, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
The first one we're going to start out with is strawberry jam, actually freezer strawberry jam, which simple, few ingredients, and easy to do. So I know,
Because that's what we're all about as a society.
Yeah.
Quick and easy,
Yeah.
fast and painless, right?
but with a wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Whoa,
absolutely.
did you make this?
Yeah, and then we're in my mom's kitchen. It's so beautiful.
Well, here we are at the start of this process. There's 3 stages here. First stage, of course, is in the fields when people are picking them. Now they're in a colander drying out. We've washed them with a little bit of vinegar that cuts the dirt and the grime. And then this is the next stage when the jam is done. I just took it out of the freezer. Okay, this is a disclaimer. These we bought from the grocery store. But the best are when the strawberries are in season from your local strawberry farm. And they're all over, call them, Google them to see when they're ripe. Last year I didn't get the first bunch of strawberries and I called, no, a little too late, but she says, the jamberries are coming in pretty soon. Jamberries, I'd never heard of it. So anyway, they made the best jam, red all the way through. Well, I've washed all these jars, hopefully there'll be enough, with good hot soapy weather. Water, of course. You all knew that. And so now I've got boiling water and I'm going to fill each one and I'm going to also put it over the caps so that we are germ-free, and that's what you want in canning. You want a germ-free environment for the food to go in so it doesn't rot or spoil or whatever the word you want to call it. Okay.
And then how long does that have to be sitting there?
5 minutes would be plenty, but okay, first of all, you have to, they're clean. You have to take the stems off. And then I would slice them in half, put them in a bowl. And then my sous chef here
Me.
would be my darling daughter. She's going to start smashing. We need 4 cups.
All right.
For this one recipe. Now, years past, every year, in fact, I make 12, 13, 14 recipes of this, but I give it for Christmas presents. But today, we're going to do just one recipe so that you can see how it's done. Okay. Well, Keely, you can start smashing.
All right. I'm going to do it. Got my old potato smasher here.
That was my mother's.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because
Because they're store-bought.
yes, it's a little harder to smash these buggers.
We'll do it.
We will. That's looking pretty good. And then just scoop that into the measuring. That's a 4-cup measuring cup, so that's all we'll need. See, this has got a little darkness at the end of it. I'm going to take that off.
You know what this reminds me of? The smell. It reminds me of going to my great uncle's, Uncle Carl's strawberry farm down in southern Minnesota, and picking these, and then going back to Grandma's house and making the same situation except not canning them, and then just putting sugar with a little bit mashed up and putting them over ice cream.
Yes.
Yum.
And that goes back to my childhood, too. I don't know if any of you would remember, it's probably your grandmother's enamel wash pans, white enamel wash pans. That's the way you used to go over to Carl's and fill them up, then we'd bring them home. And we ate fresh strawberries over ice cream until we didn't want any more.
Yeah, I know.
It was such an abundance. And he was so kind. I mean, he just shared it with us. So that's very good memories for both her and I.
And it was back in the day when a strawberry really
Yes.
tastes like a strawberry.
Yeah. He was a good farmer. His sweet corn was fabulous. But you know what his selling system was? He'd have it in bags and a farmer's bag, 13 ears to a bag, and then you have a little box that you could put your dollar in. And if
Right
you
outside
didn't,
his house?
yeah.
People just drove up the driveway and
Yeah.
just paid?
Yeah. Well, here are 4 cups of smashed strawberries. And now the next step would be to use a pectin. And there's different types of pectin. The one I've always used and really works well is Sure-Gel Original. And the pectin is in this box, and so are the directions for this jam. So if you're going to make this, that's all you have to do is buy this box because the recipe's with it. So if you want to use a recipe with less sugar, which many of us do now, there is another box. It's not called original. I think it just says less sugar. And that's the one you'll want to buy. And inside that box also is the pectin and also is a recipe for the low sugar jam.
The next step is to put the strawberries in a bowl that you mashed. And Keely, would you do that?
Absolutely.
Thank you. And then you, sous chef, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And then put the sugar on that.
And do we want to say how much sugar is in here?
Oh, let me see. Yes, we
A
do.
lot.
There's a lot. There's 4 cups of sugar.
So 4 cups mashed strawberries and 4 cups
Yep.
sugar.
Yep, there it.
Okay.
And then you stir that around really good, and then we let that sit for 10 minutes. It has to macerate. Hope I have the right word. Come together with the juices and the fruit.
That's a big word. Okay, Mom has a confession to make.
Oops. And there are a lot of oops in my life. I looked at the recipe and I didn't read it right. So we need more sugar in it because we doubled the strawberries. So we're gonna have 4 cups of crushed strawberries and 8 cups of sugar. Ooh!
Wow,
I know,
that's a
I know. But you don't
What?
have to eat a gallon of it at a time.
No, see, you would just take a piece of toast and just put a little on your
Tiny
toast.
bit.
So here we go. Here goes all the sugar. Woohoo!
Ooh, that's gonna be good.
So we make mistakes cooking and baking all the time.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just got to figure out how to make it work. So now she had to go get more sure gel, and then we're gonna sterilize some more bottles. I mean,
more jars. Got more jars. So-
Again, when you're having a piece of toast, you would just put maybe like a teaspoon on there, so it's not.
Pour as much as you want. So I'm
Tablespoon?
draining. I'm sorry, honey, I interrupted you.
Tablespoon? No.
Yeah, and you do
What?
that until the sugar is dissolved.
Okay.
I'm draining the jars, and like I said, we need more jars now. So I have them here, and I will sterilize, and then after a bit, I'll fill those too. You read the directions because when this is all said and done, when you've got the jam done, it needs to sit on the counter for 24 hours. It needs to set up before you put it in the freezer. Remember, this is freezer jam. You don't have to can it, hot water, all that. It's just put the lid on and put it in the freezer. For each box of pectin, we need 3/4 of a cup of water. So we,
Are you sure? Did
Yep.
you read the directions?
yep, I did. I did.
All right.
And we stir that, and then we let it boil for 1 minute. The sure gel has boiled for a minute. It's ready to go on top of the strawberry and sugar mixture. And so just pour it all on top, and then you stir it
With
for
this?
3 minutes. Yep.
All right. Okay, but what does the pectin do?
Thickens it.
All right.
It thickens it, yeah. You use pectin in all your jams and jellies. I learned from Molly McGinnis, a neighbor of my mother-in-law, Phyllis's, down in Arizona, that the best thing to do and the most reasonable, of course, thing to do is to, whenever I get a jar that I like, and I like jars, when they're empty, wash them, take the labels off, and use them for jam. This is, I have a bigger one made out of aluminum, and this is a glass, and it's you put it inside of the neck of the jar, and then you don't have spillage, and that's an old one. I probably got it from my mother-in-law or mom. They both were canners too. So all my relatives were canners. All my aunts and my grandmother and my mother, and that's how I learned how to do it. And that's how I learned to appreciate the pickles and the jams. And
Well, they had to can. They had to
They
can
did.
all their garden stuff for the winter.
my aunt, she had a crawl space, but it was a pretty good sized cellar, but it was a dirt floor, and you had to climb these ladder to get down there. So the kids always said they wanted something special for supper or whatever. Well, go get it. So they'd have to crawl down and bring up the canned goods, but they stayed nice down there.
What was special down there?
Oh,
What did people like?
her pickles. She canned pickles and tomatoes and peaches and pears and beans and corn, and she had a huge garden, and she had 5 kids, and so the kids weeded and she canned, and they ate pretty good. Okay,
As
now I'm
most
gonna-
farm kids did.
Yes.
As all farm kids did.
Yes. Well, this looks really good, honey. Look, oh, it's starting to set up. I'm just gonna take a taste and see if it's.
It is starting to get thick.
Really smooth. Really good.
Wow, for store-bought strawberries, not bad.
Now, I want you to remember this for sure if you've never done this before. When you're putting anything in a jar to put in the freezer, leave a good inch because it expands. And this is gold. This is really good.
Yeah, I know.
My word, I'm surprised.
I'm surprised with the store-bought strawberries.
Yes, I am. I don't know if I've ever made them with store-bought. It's okay. And so I'm going to take them and a clean rag, and wipe all around and wipe the very top ridge. Hint, when you're actually canning, and you need that vacuum when you're doing a hot water bath or whatever, you need to get that rim really clean or else it won't adhere. The vacuum won't stick.
But that's if you're doing a hot water bath,
which we
we're
aren't.
not doing. It's not hot anymore.
No, but they have to sit there for 24 hours, and then you can put them in the freezer just the way they are.
Yeah, and again, the beauty of this is there's no hot water canning, nothing. It's just this. This is it, and you're done.
Well, this is jam I just took out of the freezer. So it'll last in your freezer a good year at least. So we're going to use it on good muffin bread toast and have a cup of tea.
Well, thanks, Mom.
You're welcome, sweetie.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you for sharing your knowledge.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.